Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yes, indeed. Back giving y'all some more real talking reactions. And this reaction right here is a video of Pimpin Ken when he was on 8 at the table, speaking on how important it is for us to know corporate language. And before I play this video, y'all share, like, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you'll know when I'm on. And like I said, it's Pimpin Ken when he was on 8 at the table, speaking on how important it is for us to learn corporate language. Now, I heard him speak a lot. This is some of the best speaking and the best game giving he done gave that I've heard. Y'all check it out though.
Know how to raise capital.
And that's what I'm saying.
See.
Okay,
nephew, check me out. I had to hire a young lady by the name of Kentrice. She's my COO. She put together a pitch deck, right? And it details everything about our business, our projections, and so on and so forth. And usually you have to get that to a broker. When a broker goes out, they shop that to venture capitalists, angel capitalists, private equity, hedge funds, so on and so forth. If we don't understand Latin, see, business is Latin. When you say, I got an LLC, I laugh at you because LLC is a limited liability corporation. You go to a bank, you say, I got an LLC, they laugh at you. You know why? It's equivalent to seeing a beautiful woman. She got brown eyes, she got pretty dark hair, she got pretty brown complexion skin, she got a nice little shape. But she said, I want to date you, but you can't have sex, so you can't kiss me. But she's limited. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look at you when you go into the bank. But when you say I'm a C corp, or you say I'm an S corp, or you show that that you got structure and you understand corporate governance, you understand bank language, a certain language that they speak that is called Latin, that is nothing even comparable to what you can imagine you speak. Then you can get those things happening. Do you know what Dun and Bradstreet is? Do you know what a payday net? Yeah. Do you know what that is? Do you know all these just simple things that that goes with the business? Do you know how many points is that Dun and Bradstreet? You say I got a 780? That don't mean nothing to a business credit. You got to have at least a 50 or better. It goes to 81 to 100. It's a different metric system. If you don't understand that, you don't understand how to write proposals. You don't know how to do pitch decks. Then all this stuff that everybody talking is just mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And I hear it all the time. And I deal with corporate people all the time. I got people with PhDs and MBAs, all this in my company, right? You know what I'm saying? I had to learn, and I learned that, hey man, business is a whole different conversation. So like Nishi said, if you do bang them up and you put them in the game, and they don't understand Latin, which is what business is. Remember I told you earlier that I did my own appeal?
Mm-hmm.
When I went to court, I had to say I represent myself pro se. If you don't say pro se, which is a Latin, which means you represent yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you say, I'm here, I represent myself. You say, either you got a fool for a lawyer or you got a client for a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand the language. And that's why a lot of black folks don't succeed in business because they don't understand. I made out a list of 300 words that I give to all my executives so they can understand these basic common terminologies that's in business. You know what I'm saying? So when they communicating and certain words come up and they understand, because those people say something, they go right up the head. You've been in those meetings, you know how that is, how they talk. So, and you got to know that stuff. If you don't know it, you're not going to be able to get those deals. And people say, man, how did you get those deals with all these companies? Because I understand corporate governance. I understand
contracts, Ken.
Yeah,
the way they paragraph stuff in contracts, it'll mean something totally different than what you're reading.
Man, I lost millions of dollars because of one word. You know what that word was? Revert. So my first book deal I was telling you about I did. So they had a clause in there that said revert to 5% after it goes from paperback to hard. So the hard book had to go for hard copy paperback. I didn't understand that word. I went up there and said, where my money at? They said, you don't have no money. I said, what do you mean? They said, it reverted to 5%. So, you know what I'm saying? At that juncture, I went and I created a contract. No, don't feel sorry for me because it's the good part of the story. So it taught me a lesson. I put together another contract And that contract was I wanted to buy the total rights of my audio book. So if you go, you look up Pimpin' Ken on the audio, it's my name, Ken Ivey, own 100%. You know, imagine nobody has ever really done that, took 100% of their audio rights back from a major company like CBS, Simon Schuster. But I wrote a contract, I offered them an offer, and I went up there and I put a clause in there, you know, that says that the money, the future revenues for this payment would come from the future revenues that I would get from Pimpology, the book, right? So there was 5 lawyers in there. I went in there, I signed, I act like I was signing endorsing a check. I flipped it over. When I flipped it over, I passed them the contract. They looked at the contract, they signed it. They called me back, my publisher called me and said, Ken, you didn't endorse the check. I said, did they read the contract? So with the contract, I said, well, the money, y'all got to pay them the money. They said, what? These are Harvard graduates, lawyers. And they would say, how the hell did he do it? It was out. The CEO called me personally, talked to me. He said, Mr. Ivey, we want you to work with us. I became a literary agent for Simon Schuster. Because they respected my mind. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get, man, you know how many millions of dollars I made off the audio book? You know what I'm saying? They lost money. He was like, I want to meet the nigga, that motherfucker that got Simon Schuster, that all these lawyers. And you think I'm lying? Go and look at my book. I own 100% right of it. And I did it legitimately. They taught me the game. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, I had to learn corporate governance. I had to learn corporate language. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to write. And I put a Jewish lawyer name under that. I put Steinberg. They thought it was my lawyer, but it was me. I copy and pasted off of Google. I Googled and copy and pasted. I'm just saying, you know.
So my question is our school the gatekeeper? Because
no, school is the worst thing. Why would you go to school to learn when you could be earning without learning?
No. So what I'm saying is, right? Hear me out. We're talking as adults, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying I would argue 75% don't know business literacy.
No, because, bro, let me tell you something. They don't teach that in school. They don't teach you Latin in business school. But they teach us how to become a worker. Mm-hmm. That's why Goldman Sachs and Chase Manhattan and all of these major corporations is sitting there at your graduation because they want to pick you to become a slave. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, the same amount of time that you spend 8 hours a day making somebody else rich would be the same amount of time it would take to run your company. I
always thought it was funny that.
Now, y'all have to actually give Pimpin' Ken his props on this one. Because he don't always, I'll never, well, I ain't gonna say for me, I'll say for people listening. Some people don't get and understand pimp talk, pimp language, but he wasn't coming at you pimping or none of that. He was straight spitting straight game to you. Straight game. You know, now, you had to have the know-withal to pick it up. And now if you couldn't pick it up, I don't know what to tell you, but he laid straight game to you right there. Being corporate or understanding that corporate language, that's very important. Because I know that when my money get right, that's going to be one of my first things on my list. Those are things that I guaranteely need to know. So he may have said things that people didn't like in the past. Didn't like the way he was making his moves in the past. But hey, he's spitting real game that you can pick up and use right now. Right now. Right now. And I mean right now, today. He's spitting real game, real knowledge. And if you don't pick it up, the only person you got to blame is yourself. Because he letting it be known what you need and how you need to know corporate language. Because they'll get over on you if you let them. And you can't blame or fault nobody but yourself because ain't nobody stopping you from doing nothing. He's verbalizing it, but it don't take nobody. It ain't stopping. Nobody is being withheld from picking up a book, learning what they mean when they say certain things. Ain't no one that can. And they always say, if you want to keep something from a black man, put it in a book. You know, and that's crazy. I don't get that because I like reading. I like reading. I read all the time. You know, but that's very true. So, Pimpin can say a lot of foul stuff in some people's eyes. But shouldn't nobody feel he said anything out the way right here. He straight put some game on a whole lot of people's head, and it don't take much to pick it up and put it to use. And if you don't pick it up and put it to use, that's your fault. Can't blame nobody but yourself. But hey, y'all share, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I'm on. Peace, I'm out.